is helping you to see that God is not happy with the actions of men. Because God came and he saw the things that men are doing. The imaginations of their heart is continually evil. Now verse 7, and the Lord said, critical component. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. No, pause. Verse 7. Worthy of serious analysis. We need to exegete this verse. It says, God said, and the Lord said, Jehovah, the existing one, said, I will destroy. No. The word for I will destroy is one word. Again, you've got to remember that I told you that Hebrew word does not have vowels. Original Hebrew word, check it even now, they don't have vowels, it's consonant. So where did you get I will? If you're going to read it in the original Hebrew, and the word I will destroy is one word. I will destroy is for the word wipe out in the Hebrew. So, and you will read it like this. And the Lord said, wipe out. Right? Just watch this. Whom I have created, Barach, from the face of the earth, both man and beast, creeping things and fowl of the air, for it repented that I know. Again, there is no I. The word is Asha, one word. So the way to read it is this. God saw in verse 5, the evil and the wickedness of man was great upon the earth, right? And the imagination of the thought of the heart of man is evil continually. And God says, what is this that men are doing? Then, don't forget in verse 3, God had announced to man that there is 120 years left for this sin to mature. Then God says, this sin, God said, this thing that you have engaged in will wipe you out. Are you getting this? Because there is no word, I will wipe you out. Check your concordance. It's one word. It is wipe out. And it is not an action of God that I will wipe them out. It is, again, God came, God saw, God announced, God said, not God's action. Remember on Sunday I showed you from James 1, from 13, 14 and 15, that let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of God, for God cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempt he any man. But every man is tempted when he is drawn of his own lust and is enticed. Then he says, when lust rather is conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And when sin is perfect or finished or complete, it brings forth what? Death. Again, consistent with all the narrative about sin. 1 Corinthians 15 says, the sting of sin is what? Is death. Romans 6, the wages of sin is death. Again in Romans 6, Paul have said that to whom you yield yourself to obey, you are servant of, whether of sin unto death. So consistent. In fact, let's check this. Because God You see, you've got to understand that God's announcement based on God's judgment has nothing to do with God's action. It's like God coming, it's like you coming into a room and telling your children, have you touched what I asked you not to touch? Or merely informing the consequences of the actions. So God says there's going to be a wiping out, there's going to be a destroy, but it is not I will. Again, don't forget, there is in fact not even I in the first place to refer to him talking about himself. There's no I. There is a wiping out, but there is 120 years for that to be accomplished. Man is going to be wiped out because sin, watch this. So why did the sin, please pay attention, give me attention. Why did the sin of the days of Noah wipe out every creeping things, the fowls of the air, the beasts of the earth, you know, and the men? Why did they wipe out everything? Watch Genesis. I'm going to come back to death. Please remind me. Genesis 6. Look at Genesis 6. Look at from verse 11. Genesis 6:11. Because, in fact, look at Genesis 6:7. Go back to that 7. And the Lord said, I will destroy the man whom I have created. Again, no. God said, there's a wiping out upon the man whom I have created. Something is going to take place. Because there's no word I. Please bear that in mind. If you read this in the Hebrew, there's no I. Even right now in your English concordance, it is one word. I will wipe out. I will destroy is one word, and the word is wipe out. Now it says, but verse 8. Watch this. So verse 8 is contradicting verse 7. But, you see, man on the both beasts, fowls of the air and everything, is Noah not a man? Huh? Noah is a man, but Noah found grace. The word is matzah, which means to attend to. So grace has always been there, but they did not obey or believe in the grace of God, because we're going to read again this evening that Noah was a preacher of righteousness. He's been speaking to them about what is about to happen and what is about to come, which is the wages of sin, which is what? Death. Are you following me this evening? So Noah found grace, meaning that God has grace. It has always been there. If Noah found that grace, that means all men could have found it. And God wouldn't have distinguished between who finds it or who did not find it. Are you following this? Then verse 11 now says, the earth also was corrupt before God. Why was the earth corrupt before God? Because the activities of the man of the man on the earth was so corrupt, verse 5, that the activity of man had polluted the way of things on the earth. Are you following this? The activity of man affects